Early hands-on previews for Hogwarts Legacy have officially come out, and I watched just about every single one of them. So in this video, I want to talk about the pros and cons of what I saw from other creators' time with Hogwarts Legacy. With that being said, I haven't personally played the game yet, but I will be using footage from other creators that will be linked in the description below, so make sure you check them out if you haven't already. So there was 2 preview events last week. It looks like one of them was at Universal Studios Hollywood, and the other was in the London area, getting a wide range of different creators, from people who are just fans of the Wizarding World and don't play very many video games, some that cover Hogwarts Legacy exclusively, and others that just have video game channels. Some of the bigger media outlets were there, like IGN, but I'm not really sure if you want to take what they have to say seriously after some of their articles they've put out. The preview seemed pretty restrictive. It was a 2-hour play session where they were allowed to create a character, do 2 or 3 missions depending on what you technically consider a mission. One was for sure a mission where you were trying to find an illegal dragon fighting ring, and the other missions just kind of looked like side quests or mini games, like playing Summoner's Court and doing little tasks around the castle. From what I can tell, every character was a Gryffindor, and the embargo is still pretty restrictive, as a couple people mentioned that Avalanche didn't want them talking about all the spells and how they work. Also, some of the menus and gear couldn't be shown, and other little details like that. Now, it was said that they were playing on not the final version of the game, so it does give me some hope that some of the concerns that will come a little bit later in this video will be ironed out, but you never know what will actually be worked on and changed for the final game. We'll start off with the pros, and then we'll talk about some of the cons that I saw from the preview event, so make sure you listen to both sides because I want to be completely honest with you about what I saw, and I don't want you to think he's just super excited for the game and only talking about the good, or I don't want you to think I'm being super negative about everything, so make sure you watch both sides and form your own opinion. First up, swimming is confirmed. It doesn't really look like you can dive deep, as a few of the creators were saying that you couldn't in this preview build at least, but it is confirmed that you're able to seamlessly transition from the ground to water, and you are even able to pull out your broom when you're in the water to fly away or fly straight down to the water and drop into it, which is a great add for Hogwarts Legacy. The stealth mechanic was expanded upon, and yes, we already knew it was in the game, but not a huge mechanic, but it's confirmed that you can only use Petrificus Totalis when you're under the disillusionment charm, but at least it gives you another way to play rather than just going in wands blazing. After some odd wording in the second gameplay showcase, AndyReloads officially confirmed that transmog is in the game, and even though we could kind of gather that, it's official. You can change what your gear looks like while keeping the stat boosts from other gear. The cosmetic looks for your character are called outfits. Animagus enemies are confirmed to be in the game, which raises the question, will our character ever be able to be an Animagus, maybe DLC or something like that? You can see this in multiple different content creators' gameplay when one of the boss enemies is an Animagus and actually turns into a wolf. The enemy variety seems to be larger than expected, with different enemies attacking you in different ways. You have goblins, poachers, and an Animagus boss type, also dragons, which makes it seem like Avalanche actually put a lot of effort into different enemy varieties. The exploration of the open world looks fantastic, and I know much couldn't be shown here because they only had a 2-hour window, and every single content creator that was there said that the 2 hours flew by faster than it could have ever imagined. But right when you walk out of the castle onto the grounds, you can fly up into the air on your broom, maybe even call your mount, and that wasn't shown, but it's a possibility. You can seamlessly transition to the immersive open world with little side quests or field guide pages almost everywhere around the castle, giving you little tasks to do. Students around the castle will talk about you based on previous quests you've completed. Helping some of these students gives you more to do throughout the world and just makes it feel more alive. Needless to say, Hogwarts Legacy looks fun, and that's what pretty much everyone is taking away from this preview, even with the negatives. Speaking of negatives, there were a few cons. First up, many people said that the Alohomora minigame for unlocking or lockpicking certain locks was very buggy and it seemed harder than it needed to be, and if that's one of the biggest concerns, then I'm honestly excited that the game is actually going to be good. Another concern I saw was pop-in. RetroRaconteur during his video had a great video of this. As he was flying towards a building about to land on the ground, students just popped up out of nowhere that weren't there when he was flying towards the building, and then all of a sudden when he landed, they were standing right in front of him, which makes it a little odd and it breaks the immersion just a bit. But like I said, this isn't the final version of the game and that might be fixed. With Hogwarts Legacy being a completely open world and the developers wanting it to be as seamless as possible, that means no loading screens, and you're probably sitting there asking, how is this a negative? Well, loading screens in games, or elevators, even hallways, or little areas that your character has to fit through, are a backdoor way for developers to load in different parts of the game and still have it be immersive. It was shown from a couple different creators that when you walk towards a door sometimes, there would be two little circles spinning in front of the doors and you couldn't pass through them. It just seems like something odd that would be in Hogwarts Legacy when everything else is so seamless. Stopping the player's progress just breaks the immersion for players. Now, many games have gone away from loading screens, but games nowadays are so big that they still need something to help load in the game. Even the recent God of War Ragnarok and the rebooted God of War franchise implemented a gameplay feature when you're walking and traveling between worlds. There's sort of a gateway, which is an immersive way to load the game without cutting you straight to a loading screen or having these circle symbols in front of the doors. In my opinion, this is the biggest thing that seems out of place from the preview event, and it needs to be the first priority to be fixed before Hogwarts Legacy is launched. Lastly, and this is just an observation of mine from watching people play the game, everyone said that combat was really fun and it's engaging, and also a lot harder than Andrew made it look, because Andrew on the development team had played the game a lot and makes it look super easy, but while playing, you still see enemies standing around like they have to load up their wand before attacking you. Now, like I've stated multiple times before, I haven't played it, and I still wish I would have been invited to this event, and maybe next time. But there's a difference between playing on normal and the enemies being slower to attack you, and blatantly having enemies standing and watching you getting attacked by other enemies. There's animations or movements that can happen so that the enemies don't just look like they're standing there waiting their turn to attack you. Now, maybe my tune on this will change once I play the game and it will feel more fluent and fast-paced, but this has been a concern of mine from all of the Hogwarts Legacy combat that I've seen, and that hasn't changed with the recent preview event. Overall, Hogwarts Legacy looks amazing, and I can't wait to get my own hands on it so I can give you guys an honest review of what I think of the game, because you know I'll be honest with you. But until then, I think you should click on one of these two videos for more Hogwarts Legacy content to help you pass the time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.